We have some other tips that are just in time for those unpredictable Texas weather days. MetroMoms Barb is here to help put together some ideas that will help you and your family stay safe. Welcome, Barb.
Hi, Tony.
Great to see you.
You too.
So let's talk about, you have a 3-step process, and I love how you put things together. And let's talk about the process, and then let's go through some of the tips.
Thank you. So oftentimes emergencies strike with very little advance warning whatsoever.
Right.
So with advanced preparation, what you can do is 3 steps. Prepare your emergency plan, gather the gear, and protect your personal technology. And if you do that, it'll at least help you prepare to react and to cope with some of the traumatic events that can happen.
Perfect. Well, let's walk through some of those.
Okay. First thing, most important, is to visit the redcross.org website to help you plan an emergency plan that's for your needs. You want to map out your house, identify your safe room. If you have an evacuation plan, you need to map that out and communicate it to everyone. And then you're going to put together an emergency kit. And this is going to cover your family's basic needs for 3 to 5 days. In
the event of an emergency.
Right.
Okay, fantastic.
So you need 2 gallons of water per person.
Per day? Per
day.
Wow.
No, I'm sorry, for the 3 to 5 days.
Oh, okay, for the 3 to 5
Okay, now
days.
this is a water can that can hold 5 gallons. So this will help instead of carrying too many bottles around. You're going to need a first aid kit and a guide, a whistle,
right.
Work gloves perhaps, a hygiene kit that includes toothpaste. You're going to need things like protein bars. If you have canned food, don't forget the can opener, and backup prescription medication for anyone as well.
You know, you don't think about it because we don't a lot of times prepare for those events, and just hearing you go through these steps, I'm like, man, I wouldn't have thought of that. The can opener, the prescription medications, and you don't have a lot of time when disaster hits to really react and think things through. So these are awesome.
I mean, you basically want to think your family's displaced or you're camping. So gathering the right gear, that's our tip. Very, very important.
Okay.
So for gear, I really recommend trdparts4u.com, the number 4. And they have a website, but they also have a local store in Dallas. It's located inside the Toyota of Dallas dealership.
That's convenient.
But blackouts are very common. So they have things like this. This is a light, and it's also an emergency light. A beacon, and then you can flip it, and it's a lantern now too that you can hang. So things like that are really, really important. And this is for you to wear on your head in case you need to go out scouting anything. It's got a red blinking light in back, so now I can find you. And then once you put that on, you just activate that by waving a hand in front of it, so you're not fumbling around and bumping into things.
Just give it a try.
There you go.
There. My hair products everywhere. And then
there you go. Yeah.
And then boom, from behind. This is great.
Yeah. Personal technology.
Maybe not.
Personal technology has become so important.
Right.
And whether it's the computers that keep so much of our personal information or the phones that we're using to stay in touch with family and friends, it's very important. So I recommend, to protect your personal technology, Radio Shack. They've got all of the essentials that you need there, and there's ones just about in every neighborhood. So first and foremost is a weather radio. You can get something like this Red Cross weather radio that gives you information based on your location and your area. This one is a hand crank radio, so it also is a flashlight, AM, FM radio, weather radio, and then you can charge things like your cell phone off of it. I
have one of these, and it's funny because I have 6 animals, so not being prepared the first time I heard the tornado sirens in Plano, I'm like, where do I go? Where's my safe room?
Right.
But luckily I had this, lost electricity, and I was able to crank it and still get the National Weather Service updates. These are great.
And sometimes it can give you as much as 8 minutes, extra time to prepare and get to your safe room, so it's really important to have. And then there's also, they've got little pocket radios as well, so that you can listen to your local AM FM broadcast, never miss your show, which is very important.
Love you for that.
So staying connected, like I said, is very, very important. Cell phones, very important. And while you have it, if you do have a cell phone, you need to make sure you know how to update your social networking site via text messaging in case you can't get internet. If you don't have a cell phone, I highly recommend getting a postpaid or prepaid phone.
Perfect.
That you can use. And then make sure you have a lot of backup power for this. These are Enercell portable power. This will give you 4 extra hours of talk time on your cell phone, and this one is about the size of a credit card. This will give you an extra 8 minutes of talk time.
Barb, these are all fantastic tips. Thank you so much. And again, sit down with the family, talk it through. Everybody knows what the game plan is, and obviously that'll help in the event that there is some type of disaster. We appreciate it. For more of Barb's helpful tips, you can check out metroplexbaby.com.